Hey everyone, this is Verdilot here. Long time no see, right? So Pokemon Sun and Moon is coming. I am super excited, super hyped. I love this time. The time before a generation comes and just the hype is real. The Pokemon community is alive again. I'm so glad they decided to skip Pokemon Z. That was one of the best decisions they've ever made. Anyways, so I decided to make a top 10 list, which is top 10 things I want to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but I probably won't because they are too unpredictable for Game Freak to do. So let's get right into the list, starting from number 10. So starting off at number 10, predictable dice rolls. What do I mean with that? Let's just say predictable hacks or more predictable hacks. Now, I don't hate the luck in the game. I think it adds a fun element, it adds an intensity element. People don't know what's gonna happen. I think this is fun, but I also want it to be a bit more competitive. It shouldn't be this random. So let's take paralysis for example and explain what my theory or what my idea for hacks should be. Now, when we take paralysis, it's a 25% chance for the Pokemon to get paralyzed. This means once every 4 times on average. But it does not happen like that in Pokemon because every single turn the dice roll is thrown again. You could get paralyzed 4 turns in a row. You could pass 4 turns without getting paralyzed. So with this predictable dice roll idea that I have, that the game or the algorithm of the game understand once you get paralyzed once, for the next 3 turns you're set. You're set from paralysis. This will, or at least every 4 turns there is 1 paralysis. This will make the game more competitive. Let's just say you attacked 3 times in a row, and you know the next one you're gonna be paralyzed 110%. So you send your Pokemon back to the Pokeball to reset the turn because you know this turn you'll get paralyzed since you had 3 free turns. Number 9 and 8 were combined into one because they're very similar, even similar to the previous one. So. Number 9 would be the sleep. I hope sleep is fixed because the sleep is just flat out broken. Most of the Pokemon community agree that sleep is just so broken as a status move. It should be only applied to 1 Pokemon per battle, or maybe if it's a VGC battle, 2 per battle, just not more than that. You can't just spam the move, it's just too powerful and there's no creativity around it. And for number 8, is I want burn to be split into two side effects, just like poison. First, they will be badly burned and burn. Badly burned comes from Will-O-Wisp, which will give us the current burn, which is halving your attack, giving you 50% of your attack, but also losing 2/16 of your health per turn. The burn that comes with stuff like Scald, these would half your attack, but they would not make you lose 2/16 of your health. That way you can switch in your special walls comfortably, you can switch in your Venusaur and not lose your health. Scald is just almost objectively the best move in the game. I think the only move that's better than it is maybe Sacred Fire, but only Entei gets access to that and therefore it's not as spammable as Scald. Every water type gets Scald and it's just so broken and needs to be fixed. Number 7 is as simple as it gets. Can we please choose our own battle stage? There are many stages in the game, but we only get to choose one when we play Wi-Fi. Can we please choose our own before the battle, just like the way we choose music? The villain teams of the Pokemon world. Where do I start with this? They have a shitty story, mediocre music, and their grunts rain down on you like a swarm of bees trying to protect its queen. Except without the ability to sting, because these idiots are less challenging than arm wrestling a baby who hasn't been born yet. And I bet even a goldfish would complain that they are extremely repetitive. I am not going to suggest how they should be fixed because this would need a whole video on its own. While the game is gaining new fans day by day, most of them are children. We can't deny the fact that the game should be easy or more accessible to new players, especially since it's an RPG and it's a bit harder to get into. But we also can't deny the fact that most of its fans come from older games and they've already mastered the game, or at least know well enough how to beat the game so easily. I think the game should have hard mode. Most of the fans think this as well. I bet you guys agree with me. And yeah, it's simple as that. The game needs hard mode for us older fans. While Pokemon is a sandbox game, unfortunately we don't have a lot of freedom. Actually, we do have freedom. We could go anywhere we want, but we don't have anything besides the main quest. We don't have any ways to go outside of the main quest. The Delta mission from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was a great addition. I wish the game would have more like that, but not as an in-game content, but like halfway through the game. That would be so awesome. The majority of Pokemon fans prefer to play 6v6 outside of Japan, of course. like, I don't have any numbers with me, but this is obvious by the number of YouTube channels and the views on them. Please make that happen. We want 6v6 on Battle Spot. I don't have to look for people and then end up fighting legendaries. Also, we need showdown, Pokemon Showdown timer style, because the timer in Pokemon goes like 60 seconds. This encourages timer stall, which means you can send out Gothitelle against a Pokemon that can't touch it. You command and you wait 60 seconds every time. And then when the whole timer, the 1 hour timer, is about to end, you just hit him with a psychic or something, and you have more Pokemon, so you win. And this is just flat out cheap. Man, I wish the 8 ability would be a bit nerfed. By that I mean the Pixelate and the Aerialate. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Mega Gardevoir and Mega Pinsir, even though they hit hard, they're kind of balanced for their stats, weaknesses, Stealth Rock weaknesses and whatnot. They're okay. But Sylveon, Mega Salamence, Mega Altaria, these folks just hit way too hard for their role. Mega Salamence just goes to head with legendaries like Kyogre, Groudon easily. Mega Altaria is the kind of Pokemon that you want to make one mistake against, and it has a perfect coverage, so Dragon Dance and Sweep. And Sylveon is a special wall, and for some reason it hits harder than special attackers. Yeah, I think this ability should be balanced a bit. Finally, now we've reached number 1, and this is the one that I want the most, and the one that is least likely to happen. Legendary Pokemon always have a great lore behind them. They have their own movies, and they look the coolest. But how come their battles are so damn lame? Battle versus legendaries consists of beating the shit out of them while forcing them to submit to your rain of Pokeballs. You know, just because the games are called Sun and Moon doesn't mean it has to be S&M theme. I remember in Pokemon Stadium on the Nintendo 64, Mewtwo's battle was so damn intense. You had to make your own strategy. You had to, because you were forced to use rental Pokemon, and these rental Pokemon were a bit underwhelming, and you had to think which Pokemon to lead with. You have to paralyze it first, and your goal was not to keep it at 10% or 1% or whatever. Your goal was to beat that Pokemon. And this is what I want, honestly. I want Game Freak to give the legendary 6 times its HP and make you send all your Pokemon at once to attack it. If you beat it, you automatically capture it, kinda like the Final Fantasy games without the capturing part. Boss battles are meant to be intense and scary and memorable. Legendaries in Pokemon have the music, have the story, and have the stage, but not the fight. So hopefully guys enjoyed this list. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will be super active when Sun and Moon comes out, so yeah, I'll be posting battles, top 10s, whatever suits my mind and hopefully entertains you. See you later.